Hey toy fans, I'm D21Beast and welcome back to my figure review series here on my YouTube channel. And today we're once again looking at those Marvel Legends Infinite series figures released by Hasbro. Before you, we've got the 90s version of Scarlet Spider, part of the Rhino Build-A-Figure wave. And if you're not familiar with this character, he was created by Gerry, Conway, and Andru, and he's probably most famous for appearing in the 90s Spider-Man Clone Saga. Now, I don't want to get buried in all the minutiae of the Clone Saga. There was a lot going on during that story that ran for arguably 10 years or longer. Suffice to say, if you want to know more than what I'm about to tell you, you probably want to go ahead and check out the Marvel Wiki online. But his first appearance was in Amazing Spider-Man number 149 from 1975, where he was a clone of Peter Parker. And it wasn't until October of 1994 when he adopted the name Ben Reilly in Spider-Man number 51. Finally, his alter ego, the Scarlet Spider, was actually chosen in Web of Spider-Man number 118 from November of 1994. Now, there is a lot more to know about this character than that, but like I said, his backstory is a bit of a mess. But if you don't have a lot of time to surf the internet for hours and hours learning all about this guy's backstory, it may actually be easier for you to go ahead and check out the Amazing Spider-Man episode, Spider Wars, from January of 1998. That is the finale of the classic 90s Spider-Man animated series, but it was actually my first exposure to the Scarlet Spider, and it's a pretty good episode in its own right. Also, I should note that while the Spider-Man figure does share the same name as another Scarlet Spider figure I reviewed, they are actually separate characters. To learn more about this version of the Scarlet Spider, definitely check the link to my review of that figure below this video. Alright toy fans, I know that was quite a bit of backstory there, but with all of that out of the way, let's say we get things started by taking a look at the packaging for this figure. Coming down the front of this box, you do have that Build-A-Figure Rhino wave emblem in the upper left and the Spider-Man comic book logo there towards the center. You do have a window box packaging that does house the Spider-Man figure inside, as well as his accessories and Build-A-Figure pieces. Coming down to the bottom of the packaging, we do have that Marvel Legends Infinite series logo, and finally the figure's name, Marvel's Scarlet Spider. And as we flip this package around, you once again have the Marvel Legends Infinite series logo and the Spider-Man comic book logo there towards the top. You do have a bio for this figure, go ahead and pause now to read that. Coming down the packaging, you do have an image of the figure, and then you have that Rhino Build-A-Figure emblem one more time. Then at the bottom of the box, you do have a complete lineup of all the figures that are available in this wave, as well as what their Build-A-Figure pieces combined to create. We have Rhino off to the left. Alright webheads, well that's the packaging. Let's say we get Clone Spidey out of the box and see what he's all about. Alright toy fans, so here we have Scarlet Spidey out of the package, and the first thing you're going to notice is that this figure largely uses the exact same sculpt as the pizza-eating Spider-Man, and even the Spidey 2099 figure that we received earlier this year. And that's not a bad thing by any means. That's exactly what they should be doing with these Spider-Man characters. I really love this new Spidey mold, but I do have a few nitpicks about this particular version of Scarlet Spidey. Let's start by taking a look at the head sculpts up close. Okay, so on the left you've got Kane Parker, the fourth Scarlet Spider-Man, and I really love this head sculpt and the way that that nose looks on the figure. I mean, it looks like an actual head is underneath that mask. I also really like the sculpted detail around those eyes. I think that looks really, really nice. On the right here you've got the Pizza Spider-Man. You'll notice he even has a nice sort of nose shape on his face. It definitely looks like a human face is beneath that mask. With this Scarlet Spider figure, that face is almost completely flat. He looks more alien than he does human. And when you consider the fact that Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spidey here is a clone of Peter Parker, you should think that they'd at least have the same nose sizes. So I do wish they would have handled that a little bit differently. As it stands now, I just think that face sculpt is really too flat. As for the rest of the figure, the paint applications on the eyes are very nice, and I'm very happy about that. He's got a nice sculpted hood here around his torso, which I think looks really good. The painted spider on his chest is pretty special. You see, you do have the spider emblem here, but then they've painted the joint, so when you bend him back all the way, the spider design is not interrupted, and they do the same thing on the back. I think that's a very nice touch. He's got a separate piece here around the waist. It's kind of a softer plastic, and it has the web cartridges going around the waist. So that looks really nice, and it is actually sculpted to meet up with the torso of the figure, so the belt does not get in the way of the figure twisting or anything like that, and it sits nicely on the figure. I've got a little bit of an error of some sort here right below the red buckle on the belt. Probably a one-off on my figure, but still worth noting. And it's worth noting here that the hands for this figure do seem to have some mold lines kind of hanging off, or just some extra plastic that doesn't need to be there. Not an issue I had with the Pizza Spidey, so you may have that same issue too. Also, the hands feel just a little bit cheaper than we got with the original Pizza Spidey figure, so keep that in mind. But then as we come down the figure here, he does have a flat red for the legs and the arms. They do have painted detail here on the web shooters. I like that we have this sculpted pouch detail here on the ankles. I think that's great. Overall, the figure does look really, really nice. I just have those few gripes here, but I definitely think it looks good. Moving on to accessories, you can see that this Scarlet Spidey figure does have two different head sculpts for the Build-A-Figure Rhino, the back from this wave. These look really nice, but we'll look at those more in detail whenever I finish building that Rhino figure. And then he has interchangeable hands, and these are very similar to what we got with the Pizza Spidey figure. You've got two sets of fists, you have two sets of web clipping hands, he's already got one equipped, and then you have two sets of these sort of wall crawling or grabbing type hands. And just like on the Spidey figure, the Pizza Spidey, you can pull out the hands pretty easily, just pop right out. And then you can pick up any hand you want to. Let's do the fist. and just pop it right into the figure. No fuss, no muss, easy sort of transition, and it's a great range of accessories for this figure. Being that this Spider-Man figure is largely a reuse of the Pizza Spidey and the Spidey 2099 figure, we're pretty familiar with the articulation. The only thing missing are those butterfly joints in the shoulders. But let's just go ahead and hit up what this guy's able to do. He's got a head joint that does bend down that far and back that far and rotates all the way around. He's got a shoulder joint that rotates all the way around and bends out from the body that far. Upper bicep rotation, double jointed elbows, full rotation here at the wrist, the handle bend back that far and down that far. That articulation is copied here on the other side. He's got an excellent ab crunch that bends down that far and back very, very far. He's got full waist rotation, and again, the belt doesn't really hinder the rotation there. It is movable. He's got a hip joint that'll move forward that far, move back pretty far, out from the body, not so much. Upper thigh rotation, double jointed knee, and then he has that ankle pivot that goes down this far, up this far, and rotates left and right. Really a great range of motion on this Spider-Man figure. You're going to be able to get him in pretty much any pose you want to. Height-wise, we can see that this Scarlet Spidey figure does stand right about 6 1/4 inches tall. For some size comparison, here we have 90s Scarlet Spidey compared to the 4th incarnation of Scarlet Spider on the right, and compared to the pizza-eating Spider-Man from the 2015 Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure wave. Hungry? Don't mind if I do. And finally, here he is compared to the 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Infinite Series Wolverine.
Hey Bob, where do you guys keep getting that pizza?
What? Is there pizza somewhere? Aw, looks like we just ran out.
Saints alive! Looks like we've got a miracle on our hands.
Oh yeah, major miracle. Alright, toy fans, well that's my review of the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Scarlet Spider figure, part of the Rhino Build-A-Figure wave, released by Hasbro in 2015. Overall, there's definitely a lot to like about this figure. While I do have my nitpicks about the way the head sculpt was executed, and even that extra plastic that's on the fingers that really shouldn't be there, this figure's got a lot more right with it than it has wrong. The paint applications are really clean, he's got excellent poseability, a great range of accessories, and he comes with 2 Build-A-Figure heads. Plus, he's one of those quintessential 90s Spider-Man characters. For that reason alone, this figure's probably going to be a must-buy for most of you out there who collect Legends, and I definitely recommend him. Well, thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you saw here, please feel free to rate, share, and subscribe. Also, be sure to hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at D21Beast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.